Hey guys, welcome back to more political chatter. Today we will be talking about the 2026 midterm elections, particularly in the US House of Representatives, and how Democrats are in for a very good night as of right now. When it comes to election night 2026, even when you look at the House races alone, it might be even better news for them in the Senate. There's various races that they could come out as surprise winners. I'm thinking of Alaska. I'm thinking of Texas. I'm thinking of Maine. Or not that the Democrats are in favor there, but in the U.S. House of Representatives, it might be an even better night. And why do I say that? Well, we have had a flurry of special elections this year so far. Now, special elections don't mean everything, but they do mean a lot, which we're going to get to in a second. Just a couple nights ago, I was state senate district 1 voted in a special election. Their state senator died. They held a special election. In a Trump plus 11% district, the Democrat won by 11. That was a 22-point swing towards the Democratic Party, and it's continuing with a trend that we're seeing nationwide, where Democrats have been absolutely, undeniably outperforming their last presidential election. When you look at the left side of this graph, it is in every batch of 2 years how Democrats performed in these special elections compared towards the last presidential election. So you could see from 2017 to 2018, Democrats on average in these special elections did 6% better than Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. But when you look at now, it has been an absolute blowout for the Democratic Party so far. They have outperformed Kamala Harris by an average of 13%. So when you look at this map, what is this map? Well, it's a blowout for the Democrats. It's 237 seats to Republicans 198 seats. Um, that's undeniable. They're winning two congressional districts in Iowa. They're winning one of the two congressional districts in Montana. They're winning that rural Arizona district. I think that's Arizona's second district. They're ousting Ken Calvert in California by a likely margin. They're winning back Alaska. They're winning back this deep Republican district in Washington that's never really on the radar. They're making North Carolina's, 18th district, I wanna say, extremely competitive. They're ousting Mike Lawler in New York. I could go on and on and on. Scott Perry loses in that Pennsylvania district. Wisconsin's 2nd district becomes a tilt margin for the Republican Party. The 3rd district, where Rebecca Cook is running again, that's a likely district. Again, I could go on and on and on, but essentially it is a blowout for the Democrats. Now, what is this map? This is the 2024 results shifted 9.3% towards the Democratic Party. Now, why 9.3? Well, essentially, that is what in reality it would become. If you say that the Democratic Party will win the House popular vote, like it has translated to in special elections by 13%, then this is what it will translate out to. If you say they have been outperforming by 13%, so the House popular vote will be 13%, which is honestly being friendly towards the Republicans. Because when you look at 2017 to 2018, Democrats won by 6, and Democrats actually won the House by more than what they outperformed by. The same thing happened in 2019 to 2020 by a lesser extent. The same thing happened from 2021 to 2022. The only time that didn't happen was last year, 2023 to 2024. But let's be friendly towards the Republicans and say that the House popular vote will be won by Democrats by exactly 13 points, what they outperformed special elections by so far. So if you do that, then it comes out to if the House is just between Democrats and Republicans, no third parties, that would mean 56.5% for the Democratic Party, 45.5% for the Republican Party, or sorry, 53.5% for the Republican Party. That is a 9% trend towards the Democratic Party in 2026. That 56.5, that would be going from 47.2 to 56.5. That is a 9.3 trend towards the right. What is that mapped? This. This is what you're looking at. If every single district voted 9.3% more Democratic in 2026 than they did in 2024, what you would come out with is a massive blue wave. So let's go more in depth about this because it's even better than what the numbers might say. 237 to 198 is already a blue wave. For context, the famous blue wave of 2018 in the first Trump term was even less. It was 235 to 200. That is what Democrats came out with. Republicans had 241 after 2016. They lost 41 seats down to 200. This would be losing about 40, about the same amount of seats. I think it might exactly be 41 on the dot, which is interesting. Or no, sorry, it'd be like 21, way less. But it's even it would be an even better night than the numbers show for the Democratic Party because look at these competitive seats. In total, for the relatively competitive Republican seats, you'd have 47 likely, and then 15 lean. So that's 47 plus 15. That would be 62, and then 2 tilt plus 2, 64. So you would have 64 Republican seats that are somewhat winnable for the Democratic Party. Remember, this is just each seat trending 9.3% towards the Democratic Party in 2026. Does that mean more could flip? Absolutely. Does that mean more could be won by Republicans? Absolutely. So that's 64 seats in play for the Democrats that Republicans have in this scenario. For the Democrats, they have 38 likely and 7 lean. That would be 45 plus 1 tilt. 48. You're looking at 48 relatively competitive Democratic seats, 64 relatively competitive Republican seats. So there is a stark difference in these numbers in the actual reality of things. You'd be looking at, with some seats switching back and forth. What you see now, right? Like this Wisconsin district might go Democratic, while this Arizona district might go Republican, even though it's tilt blue and now it is tilt red. Those could switch back and forth. But in the grand scheme of things, you would most likely come out with more Democratic seats since more Republican seats are in play. Since there's more likely lean tilt Republican seats than likely lean tilt Democratic seats. I mean, just look at this map. It would be absolutely monumental, much more monumental, I might add, than the 2018 map. Here is the national view. Not, Democrats performed very well, but it's not like there were too many major surprises. I mean, whatever. I guess the 23rd district, Will Hurd, only coming out by point 0.4. That might be a big one. Of course, Oklahoma's 5th district with Kendra Horn coming out. That was the biggest shock of the night. Peterson hanging on in this rural Minnesota district was oh yeah, and then Greg Gianforte coming out ahead in Montana's at-large district. Keep in mind, at-large, Montana used to only have one district. It voted for a Republican by less than 5%. And that was a pretty shocking result. New York's 27th. Democrats came very close in. Jared Golden won in Maine. It was a very good night, but it wouldn't be as stunning as a map like this, where you have, countless deep red states that are at least becoming likely Republican. Some lean, like a Lauren Boebert's district would become lean. There would be surprise after surprise after surprise, and we really wouldn't know. With a map like this, yes, we can shift every district by 9.3%, but we don't really know exactly what the result would look like in every single district, and that would be a fun night to watch. But again, it would be very reminiscent of 2018, and that is all Democrats can hope for in 2018. They won 3 out of 4 congressional districts in Iowa. I mean, that was just insane. They won the seat that Nancy Mace currently holds now, South Carolina's 1st district. Richard Ojeda came close in West Virginia's 3rd district. She won by 12.7% when Trump won it by something like 50 points, which is absolutely incredible. So we're looking at 2026 as something of a repeat of 2018. there is no reason to think that Democrats won't only meet their 2018 numbers, but exceed. They're on track to well exceed. I mean, this is not numbers based, but just thinking about the current state of politics, I feel like Republicans are far less energized for, turning out for Trump and his party, his Republican Party in 2026 than they were in 2018. With the whole, refusing to release the Epstein files, with rising costs. Of course, you've got these rural voters. Many of them, we don't know the full scope of how impacted they will be, but we do know a significant chunk of them will be impacted by these hospital closings, by these SNAP cuts. If your local rural hospital closes because of the presidential administration, even if you won't like to deny that to other people, you are not turning out to vote for your president's party. If you got your SNAP cut, if you got your food stamps cut, you are not going, if this administration has materially and personally hurt you and your life, there is no way that you are going to turn out for the party in November. So we don't know the full scope of how people are hurting right now. We really don't when it comes to hospitals, when it comes to SNAP, because a lot of these implications still haven't been felt in many areas. The tariffs too, rising costs. We'll see how much costs rise. So we can only speculate as of now, and we only have generic ballot numbers and stuff, and we don't have many polls from specific congressional districts. But it looks like a lot are on track to flip as of right now. So that's where things stand. This is somewhere around my prediction right now. Obviously, I wouldn't go as far to say that Montana's first flips, that Arizona, the rural district flips. But yeah, it'll be pretty close to this, which is kind of crazy to think because this seems like such a far stretch of the imagination. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. It really helps out a lot. Um, yeah. Again, drop a comment. Let me hear your thoughts on this. Drop a like as well, and I will see you all next time.